Welcome to Waking Up America, not morning show. Today's news: James Okeefe is suspended from Project Veritas, and Bill Gates gets called out on his hypocrisy. Let's talk about this while we still can. My name is Alexander Graves. I am the Constitutional Conservative. If you guys enjoy this content, please consider following us on Twitter at America Wake Up. Post daily memes up there and daily stories. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, first story of the day. Insane. Project Veritas Board of Directors removes James Okeefe and puts him on paid administrative leave. Before we get into that, if you guys would like to support this content, please consider heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/wakeup. You can donate, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Greatly appreciated, not required. All right, let's get into it here. If you are unaware of James Okeefe and Project Veritas, they are pretty much the only true journalists still in the industry right now who do investigative journalism. They do undercover work all the time, and they were most notably known recently for the expose on Pfizer, in which they uncovered the fact that Pfizer has been doing gain-of-function research on viruses in an undercover video. This guy went a little bit crazy, started attacking them, broke one of their iPads. They went pretty gung-ho on this one. They even put a video truck in front of Pfizer HQ playing the video. Pretty hilarious. Okay, so that's James Okeefe. James Okeefe founded Project Veritas. Like I said, he is basically the bastion of actual true journalism. He continues this fight and continues to expose these people without being paid off. Now, there's something very strange going on at Project Veritas right now. We'll get into it here. Early reports, just a brief summary, is that basically two people that Okeefe had previously fired are now back and in charge and CEOs, and he's been put on an administrative lead. Not exactly sure what's going on here. The details are still kind of coming out, but what is clear is that he has been put on an administrative lead here. So let's get into it. In one of the most insane and tyrannical moves we've seen, quote, the board of directors at Project Veritas have removed James Okeefe from the head of the company he founded and have placed him on administrative leave. They posted out a message on, I believe this was through Slack, an internal message sent to Project Veritas employees by the organization's executive director, Daniel Strack, said that Okeefe would be taking a few weeks of well-deserved PTO. An image of the message was shared by a source familiar with the organization's internal operations, and its authenticity was confirmed by a current employee. When reached for comment on his personal cell phone, Okeefe said nothing in response and did not respond to follow-up phone calls or text messages. Through a Project Veritas spokesman, Strack later released a statement on behalf of the organization. This is where it gets a little weird. Quote, like all newsrooms at this stage, the Project Veritas board of directors and management are constantly evaluating what is the best path forward for our organization, the statement read in part. It did not directly address questions about Okeefe's employment status. The fact that they're not saying anything is more concerning. So this comes directly after James exposed Big Pharma and Pfizer, and now they are coming for him. That is the presumption of this article, and that is certainly where the conspiracy theories could lead you here. It does seem rather convenient that James Okeefe gets removed from his own company shortly after going after one of the most powerful industries in the United States. He's been given billions of dollars, makes them look bad, makes the United States look bad. Something weird's going on here. So the presumption is that these CEOs were paid and bought for. But, I mean, we've seen this throughout conservative media. The rhinos always end up in charge of these companies. And at the end of the day, it's not about policies. It's not about freedom. It's not about journalism. It's always about the dollar at the end of the day. It's not about speaking your voice. It's not about making the hard choices. It's always what's safe. What's going to increase our bottom line? What's going to give us these maximal profits? So I think that's what's happening here. For whatever reason, these CEOs have been compromised in some way or another by Big Pharma. Either they got a big check or they were told to hush, step back on this. I don't know. Something weird's going on here. We'll see more. There is a meeting at the Project Veritas board that is scheduled for Friday when Okeefe's potential removal is set to be discussed, according to one source familiar with the matter. Okay, so like I said, James Okeefe, as pictured, is literally the backbone of Project Veritas. If he's kicked out of Project Veritas, no matter where he goes, people will follow him because he is Project Veritas. There is no Project Veritas without him. This is similar to the Breitbart merger. Once Breitbart was gone, it stopped being Breitbart. Same thing with Project Veritas. People will follow him for true journalism in whatever company he starts. But this is incredibly telling of, unfortunately, the conservative media. I will say what's really nice here is it seems like, at least the past couple of weeks, most conservative politicians or conservative media personalities have been at each other's throats. And, you know, whether by design or otherwise, it seems like everybody is coming to stand for James O'Keefe here. And I think that's really healthy for the movement to show that we are still on the same fight. Okay, so story continues here a little bit. The alleged message that was released by the company said that the company was in a, quote, distracting time, mentioning that 2 Project Veritas executives had been reinstated that were allegedly fired by Okeefe recently. That's weird. I would love to see more information on that. That's all I got out of this tidbit here, but reporters did contact Okeefe via his personal cell phone, but the investigative journalist declined for calls and text messages. Either he's secured by an NDA right now, so he can't speak about it, or I really don't know. It could very well be everybody's jumping the gun on this, and maybe he literally is just taking vacation. I don't know. Maybe it's just stirring up controversy. We'll have to wait and see. But that's it for that story. We'll go ahead and get into the Bill Gates part, because if you're not aware, Bill Gates is incredibly pro climate change, and he's been spending billions of dollars trying to regulate it. CO2, which if you took basic biology, you know, plants, grass, trees, they produce oxygen with CO2. It's not bad. Bill Gates justifies his use of private jets while being a climate activist and says he's not part of the problem. Yeah. Okay, let's dig into it here. During an interview with the BBC that aired last week, Bill Gates was asked to address the public's criticism that his use of private jet travel is hypocritical given his stance on climate change. Gates and other billionaires have been slammed for traveling in private jets while campaigning about climate change. It's hilarious because you can literally see pictures of Al Gore getting out of his private jet at Davos to discuss the effects of quote-unquote climate change. The hypocrisy of the left is boundless. They just can't see through their own hypocrisy here. Quote, I spent billions of dollars on climate innovations, so you know, should I just stay at home and not come to Kenya and learn about farming and malaria? Yes, please, stay at home. In fact, give your money away. Just, you're wasting it. Quote, I'm comfortable with the idea that not only am I not part of the problem by paying for the offsets, but also through the billions that my Breakthrough Energy group is spending, that I'm part of the solution. Would you say that's the final solution there, Bill Gates? Yeah. It's not rich Bill Gates that's the issue here. No. It's the poor people. They produce too much CO2, despite the fact that, again, plants, grass, trees all produce this to produce more oxygen, which results in a better world anyway. Okay, so the hypocrisy here does continue, and I've just got the most cringeworthy video here for you of Bill Gates doing a TikTok. It's such low effort propaganda. It makes me physically cringe because you see where this is going. They're trying to reach the youth. Here we go. Let's just watch this. Hi friends, this is my dad, aka Bill. He's a pretty cool man. He dances TikToks. I'm sorry, I just had to play it twice. It's just so cringeworthy. So that was probably the most dumb thing you've seen all day. But I would love to say it doesn't get worse. But into more climate alarmism here. I've spoken on other articles similar to this. This is probably the most egregious and scary one yet. Huge dust cloud launched from Earth's moon could ease global warming. Okay, so if you haven't seen my previous episode, we covered a company that is down in South America. Can't recall what it is right now, but they were proposing, and in fact have been doing this and selling tax credits for it, sending particles up into the upper atmosphere to reduce the temperature by blocking sun rays into certain areas of the Earth. Incredibly dangerous. No, even most scientists who are not extremely pro climate change are like, okay, this is probably a bad idea. Don't affect the climate. We don't know. Okay, that's the thing. We don't know what this is going to do, but this could be existential right here. This is 110% more dangerous than anything climate change could even possibly fathom at all. Even though climate change, not real. We have no effect on the climate. Let's push into it here because this article is absolutely insane. They want to essentially create a space cannon on the moon that launches out moon dust to block sun rays. That is insane. This is like supervillain level retardation. Let's get into it. Launching 1 million tons of moon dust around Earth could dim sunlight across our planet by 1.8%. This would reduce the global temperature, but whether it would be worth the resources and the risk involved in such a strategy are unclear. Spoilers, it's not worth the risk. No, because one, you don't know. A simulation is not real life. You don't know how this would affect. It could cause a complete global winter and collapse of our entire ecosystem for 1.8%. The gall of these morons is astounding. Launching a dust cloud from the moon to block sunlight reaching Earth could reduce global warming, which is not real. In fact, this is why they go back and forth between global cooling and global warming all the time, because they can't make up their mind. The most recent NOAA data actually suggests that we are in a slight cooling trend. It's not warming at all. All right. Placing more than 100 million tons of dust between Earth and the sun to partially block light from reaching our planet has previously been explored as a way to combat climate change. Such dust particles would shade the Earth by absorbing light energy or scattering light particles known as photons away from the Earth. Incredibly dangerous and stupid. To achieve this, the dust would need to be placed 1.5 million kilometers from Earth, where the gravitational pull of the sun and our planet cancel out. Here, objects stay at a fixed position known as the first Lagrange point. So effectively, it would permanently be sitting in that area and more than likely would not be able to be undone. Who knows what the time frame even on this is. And this is all assuming that this science data is even accurate. Okay. So if the approach were sustained indefinitely or until other methods were reduced to remove carbon dioxide from the Earth's atmosphere, this is going to cause way more harm than it could ever help. Okay. You would see plant species die from a lower temperature. 1.8% is not insignificant when it comes to the temperature of Earth. And this is where this climate alarmism goes crazy. I mean, Al Gore said we were going to be dead by, what was it, 2012? Still ticking. We're still here. It's scary when your solutions to the problem are going to cause more change than the problem itself is perceived to actually be making any change at all. Okay, so that's enough of the climate alarmism for one day. I guess this should fall under the segment of, has science gone too far? Yes, it has, because my lord, this is supervillain level of stupidity. So we're going to end on one funny video here. If you guys missed the State of the Union, I've got just a short little clip here, which it just summarizes it pretty well. Anything missed, minus the gun control parts. But yeah, here we go. Enjoy.
So I've come to fulfill my constitutional obligation. And here's my report. In federal infrastructure projects, the economic upheaval of the past 4 decades. Health insurers now than ever in history came together to pass once in a generation infrastructure law. You know, another term as Senate Minority Leader. I think you, in more than, and not one administration, but for a long time, he gets to go to the game tomorrow, next week. I have to stay home. The United States of America, 13th, the Cowboys in the sky. But I still get asked to fund the projects in those districts with type 1 diabetes and need this insulin to stay alive. This law also caps and won't even go into effect until 2025. Electric vehicles and efficient appliances, energy efficient appliances. Passed the bipartisan legislation to strengthen antitrust enforcement and prevent. I may give my personal conversations, which have been many, with President Xi. Name me a world leader who changed places with Xi Jinping. Name me one. Name me one. We give them greater access to mental health care at their schools. Proven programs that recruits veterans. Hope over fear. Unity over division. Stability over chaos.
Clearly the most eloquent president in history who received the most votes of any other president in history, undeniably. The strongest orator of our times, Joe Biden. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys appreciated it and enjoyed. Again, if you guys enjoyed this content, please follow us on Twitter at AmericaWakeUp, or consider heading on over to buymeacoffee.com/wakeup. Greatly appreciate you guys sticking with me through this. I will see you guys next time. As I said, I am Alexander Graves, constitutional conservative. Stay safe, stay frosty, stay wake.